So, here are 5 steps to becoming a life coach in 2026 and your next move explained. So, becoming a life coach in 2026 isn't just about getting certified and hoping clients find you and that you make some money. This is about stepping into a new identity, a career, and a way of expressing yourself in a deeper form of healing. So, in today's video, I'm going to walk you through each of the 5 steps and tell you what most coaches get wrong in each one. But let me quickly introduce myself. Hello, everyone. I am Christa Kathleen. I have been a professional coach for over 10 years now. I am also the founder and creator of Born to Coach. I'm really passionate about being able to train and certify heart-centered humans all over the world, helping them to become certified life coaches and to earn their ICF credentials and get their life coaching businesses up and running so you can do this work part-time or full-time and get paid really well for your skills, your time, and your service, and to wake up every day feeling fulfilled and like you're honoring your greater mission and purpose here on earth. So if you want to learn more about our ICF Accredited Born to Coach Training Academy, where we help to train and certify students in, you can just grab more information below the video. So the first step to becoming a life coach this year is you need to actually decide. Decide that you want to become a life coach. I think sometimes that is the hardest and the biggest battle, and people can stay stuck in this phase for months or for years. Do I want to become a life coach? Is this the work I want to do? Do I actually want to get trained in this and invest money in this and start a business in this? And staying stuck in that in between, it's heavy and it costs a lot of energy, and you could be going out there and actually coaching real people and getting paid for your work. But the more that you stay stuck in that, like, I don't know if I want to do this, then it's going to be frustrating for you. You don't need full confidence to start. This is a big, big career move, and you're not going to feel 100% ready. Just like deciding to become a parent, I always say, give yourself a percentage when you're making big decisions in your life. What do you need? Do you need to be like 75% ready, 80% ready? And it's okay to have some fear. It's okay to have doubt. That's going to be a part of this. And I always say that it's good that those feelings and emotions are there because it means you're getting ready to step outside your comfort zone and challenge yourself in a whole new way. You can let fear be your compass. So I personally don't do anything now in life that doesn't scare me because it means that I probably don't want it bad enough. So if you're waiting to feel ready to become a life coach and start your coaching journey, you might be waiting for a really long time. So something that you can start doing today is you can start going out there and you can start telling people that you are going to become a life coach, to start making it that much more real. Also, another thing you can do is you can purchase my digital course From Idea to Income. This is a really low cost investment, and it's perfect for people who are feeling the pull to become life coaches and are trying to figure out if this is the right work for them or not. Inside that course, you're going to get to listen to real coaching demos done by myself and other coaching students. So you get to hear what real professional coaching sounds like. You're also going to get to see what the life coaching structure outline is that we teach our students inside the Born to Coach Training Academy. So you can use that outline and start to practice on real humans as well. And see if this is the work that you want to step into this year. So just go ahead below the video. You'll see that link From Idea to Income, and you can go ahead and purchase that and get started today. Okay, step 2 to becoming a life coach is learning the skill and mastering the skill. So what I see happen is a lot of life coaches try to start building their business and they haven't actually learned how to coach people yet. Just watching videos about coaching and reading books about coaching is not going to help to make you a ethical and safe and proficient coach. And if you're trying to build a business on a wobbly foundation, then that is going to create a lot of problems later on. Training really does matter if you're serious about moving into this work. And yes, you have natural coaching skills. We all do, but there's going to be more skills that you're going to need to learn and develop of really how to artfully hold space for people, to do it from a place of not bringing in your own judgments and biases, and learning how to not give people advice. We all have an advice monster inside of us that wants to come out because we think that we know best, but actually our clients know best. So you're going to have to learn how to create a coaching mindset for yourself and see your clients as the experts in their life. And then how to ask really powerful, thought provoking questions one at a time that aren't leading, that aren't long and super wordy. Again, this is a skill that also takes time as well. We teach this inside our Born to Coach Training Academy. And then how to partner with your clients to come up with their own goals at the end of each session, making sure that you're not assigning your clients homework, but they're really coming up with the action items that are going to feel best for them. And remember, too, a huge part of this work is being a client and is working with a life coach as well. One of my past mentors told me this is that your clients are renting out your central nervous system. So, what that means is you need to be doing your own deep personal work as well if you're not already. And you need to know what your triggers are, and you need to learn how to keep your nervous system regulated when you're listening and holding space for others. And this is a really, really difficult skill that takes a lot of time and hours and practice to learn. And you really want to create an energy where people feel safe enough to open up to you and know that they can talk to you about anything and that they can fully surrender into your energy. And you want to make sure you don't get caught up in your clients' problems as well too. As sensitive introverted empaths like myself, it's really easy to take on other people's problems and energies and absorb it as our own, and then feel like we have to fix people and we have to rescue people. And that's something that our clients, they don't need from us. And just remember, like, you are a human. You're going to have anxiety. You're going to have worry. You're going to have fear, and you're going to have judgments. And there is no room for that in your client session. So you're going to have to learn how to manage your own feelings in the session. And then if stuff comes up, you're going to need support after the session. And so this is why I truly believe that every coach needs to have their own coach. And that's why we provide you with your own ICF accredited life coach in the Born to Coach Training Academy, so you can have that deeper support and learn how to work through your own topics and regulate your nervous system and become a really powerful coach for your client in that way. Step 3 is you want to start coaching before you're ready. The only way you're going to become a confident coach is to go out there and start practicing on real humans and coaching people and applying what you're learning in coach training. Just showing up to classes in your coach training, it's not going to be enough. You have to actually apply what you're learning outside of the classroom. Now, this is going to feel awkward at first. I felt super awkward the first couple of years of coaching, feeling like I didn't know what I was doing or if I was asking the right questions, or when I have difficult client situations come up, am I handling this correctly? And that's all a part of this process. And so that's why it's really important to have a community and a mentor and a trainer that you can work with that's going to help to guide you through these situations when they come up. And honestly, this is where most people quit, and I don't want you to quit. If you truly believe that you're born to coach, this is your higher mission and purpose on earth, and that you have beautiful coaching skills that can help others, we want you to stay fully committed on this path and to not let the fear and their imposter syndrome or the lack of training get in the way or sabotage this journey. So one of the things that I really love that we do for our students inside the Born to Coach Training Academy is, yes, they're watching modules, and they are reading books, and they are showing up to class with me and getting to get their questions answered live to learn more about the ICF core competencies and ethics and methodologies to apply to their coaching sessions. But then what we do is inside the Born a Coach Training Academy, they get partnered with a peer coach, and every week they're practicing coaching with their peer. And then 6 of their coaching sessions are observed live by one of our trainers. And then they get immediate feedback at the end of our coaching sessions so they can hear where their strengths are as a coach and what they can keep doing to keep improving and getting better. And then I do 2 sessions with my students one-on-one where they record their coaching calls with a volunteer or with their peer, and then they submit that recording and we watch that recording together. And it's really weird and it's awkward at first to see yourself coaching, but it's a really powerful form of learning. And this is where I see my students, their coaching really starts to take off and improve the fastest, because getting to watch yourself coach, you're going to learn the most about your coaching style and what's working and not working, and where maybe bad coaching habits have shown up, and what you think you're saying or doing is actually helpful, but it's not helping the client. So you are going to learn so much by getting your coaching observed and being able to get feedback from an experienced trainer. What I would recommend is, if you're currently enrolled in coach training right now, to be doing practice coaching sessions every week, either with a peer or a friend or a family member. And if you're not in coach training, do that anyways. Like I said, in my course From Idea to Income, you will see the structure and really good sample coaching questions that you can use, that you can start practicing on other humans. The 4th step is you want to start building your message and your niche. What's going to happen is the more that you start coaching people, the more that your niche is going to become clear and find you. 99% of my students, when they enter coach training, they don't know what their niche is, and that's okay. You don't need to know your niche in order to get started coaching. And what's going to happen is, the more you coach people, you're going to find out really fast who you enjoy coaching, who you don't enjoy coaching, the topics that really light you up, the topics that drain you, and just in general, who your personality and your energy, who that's attracting. So oftentimes when I ask coaches, what's your niche? They'll say, well, I just want to help people. I just want to help everybody. And you got to remember that your coaching's not meant for everybody. And not everybody wants to receive coaching from you or to work with a life coach. So we do want to eventually start to get really clear on what are the pain points and the desires that my niche needs my help with and support with the most. And then we're going to start building a coaching offer and a program around those, because people like to buy solutions to their problems. And also I always say that at the end of the day, your past version of you, when you were struggling the most and you were ready for change, you were ready to let in support, you're ready to take action, that is most of the time going to be your best niche. And so your story matters. And what is going to start to happen is you're probably going to feel called to turn your pain into purpose. And you're going to want to start to put your story out there. And that's going to become an important part of your message and start to form your niche as well, too. Because remember, people don't really buy coaching. They're going to buy your why you're offering the coaching. So what I would recommend next is to, as you're going out there and you're telling people that you're going to become a coach, either in person or maybe you're doing it online, and starting to share your story and your why of why you feel called to become a life coach and to do this work. And the last step is you need to start selling. Now remember, selling, it isn't sleazy, it's service. And you don't need to have a perfect website. Heck, I didn't even have a coaching website the first 6 months of working with paying coaching clients. You don't need to have professional pictures. You don't need to have a sales funnel set up. Like, those are things that you can all do later. But one of the most important things that you can be doing is getting out there and coaching as many people as possible, offering sample coaching sessions, and then for the right people, inviting them to go deeper with you and to keep doing the work. And I know that this is going to bring up a lot for you. It brings up a lot for my mastermind clients and my students as they start to put themselves out there and they're more visible and they're having sales conversations and doing discovery calls and inviting people to work with them. And it brings up a fear of rejection and being afraid to hear the word no and having to be present with people's money objections that are going to come up. And again, this is all the kind of stuff that you can learn in coach training. And specifically in our coach training program, we have an entire business school where we do business skills labs every week, and you're getting to practice running sales calls so you know the best way to talk about your coaching in a way that's going to connect it back to your client's desires, and that you can powerfully hold space for people's fears and worries and money objections that are going to come up on these calls, and you know the right questions to ask to help people to move through those objections so that way they can come to a really empowered decision and know if whether working with you or not is the right choice. Remember, running a coaching business is not manipulation, and it's not sleazy either. It is the most massive form of service and value exchange and leadership that you can do in this world. And just remember, like, if no one's paying you, then you're most likely going to have to be stuck in a day job that you hate, that is soul sucking, that makes you miserable, when really all you want to be doing is coaching. That used to be me as a nurse. And if you don't have paying clients, then you don't have a real coaching business yet. And you just have a professional coaching hobby that can get really expensive really fast. You want to be every week intentionally inviting people to work with you, because oftentimes they don't know how to work with you yet. And again, I teach you all of this inside the Born to Coach Training Academy. You don't have to figure this out on your own. I have done 10 years worth of business and coach trainings. So I'm passing down all my teachings and learnings to you so you know how to have powerful sales conversations with people and invite them to work with you on a deeper level if it is the right fit. And then you can get paid really well to do this work, maybe even quit your full-time day job and do what I do, work from home full-time. It is the best career in the world. Or being able, for a couple years, I traveled all over the world while I was setting up and starting my coaching business. And you can do client calls from a spa. You can do client calls on the beach. You can do them at a fancy restaurant. As long as you have Wi-Fi and you have your phone or you have the computer, you can work with clients all over the world from anywhere.
So where do you feel like you were at before starting Born to Coach Training Academy, and where are you at in your life, your business, your coaching skills?
Before it was kind of like the dream, and I wanted to make sure that I was qualified and doing it right. I didn't want to lean on my old patterns that came from mentoring. And now, of course, I feel totally different. Now I feel like, oh, it's fine. Like I don't have to follow the outline anymore. I don't have to. It just feels like I just have a handle on what a coaching should be. And and I think I came into it not knowing how much didn't need to rely on me. I was always like the leader running things, and everybody wanted the advice, and I had to like hold people up so much and hold them accountable. And this is just totally different. And it's kind of like a, just a relief that the job isn't that it is more just helping people do that for themselves and being able to just ask the right questions. And so that's been really nice.
Yeah, I feel like if there's one lesson or gem you can take away from life coaching schools and life coach training, it's learning that you get to work less and let your clients really step up more in their own results in life.
Holding presence too has been a big game changer, because it shows that really that's what people need, is that presence and just allowing. It's just like you're holding their hand as they're figuring it out. So those two things together, honestly, is probably what, in my opinion, makes the best life coach. but I didn't know that coming into the program. I want you to know that I chose this program because of you and your energy and what you bring, and I needed that in my life. I needed what you offer to the group. I needed how you allow everybody to hold space for each other. There's a lot of holding and care, and when you see me make my review, you'll see that I put these things in there, but it's a program that is no nonsense, and at the same time you're held, and it's not just you can grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally. It's not just let's just get this program done. And so it's probably one of the most special things about Born to Coach, and you bring that. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. See if we can get some hearts.
I know.
Done. There we go. Thank you. That means a lot, Natalie.
Yeah, no, it's very true. So thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's just go ahead and quickly review those 5 steps to becoming a life coach for this year. So step 1 is you need to decide that you're actually going to become a life coach. And then once you've decided, step 2 is you're going to start learning the skill set and going through a coach training program. The step 3 is you're going to start coaching people even before you feel ready, because you need to apply what you're learning in your coach training classes. Step 4 is you're going to build your message and get clear on your niche. And step 5 is you're going to start selling and offering your coaching. All right, guys, so that's all I have for you today. So I'd love to hear from you. Once you've decided to become a life coach, what is your next step from here? So let me know in the comments below. And make sure to like and give a thumbs up and subscribe to this video. And I will see you in the next coaching video. All right, bye.